Hey guys, it's Kunal, commercial product photographer, and today, once and for all, let's close this chapter of the best camera for product photography. So first you need to understand that like every other thing in life, there is no such thing as the best camera, right? The perfect camera doesn't exist. But if you have the clarity on the features you need for product photography, then you can easily pick up the right camera for the job. So let's talk about all the features that I consider before buying a camera. The very first thing I look for in a camera is the sensor size or the format, right? So cameras come with different sensor sizes, like there's a crop sensor, full frame, medium format, and so on. Right now I prefer using a full frame camera. And if you look here, I have the Nikon Z9, which is my main camera body, and this is a full frame camera. As a backup to this, I have Nikon D850 on which I'm shooting a video right now. That is again a full frame body. And earlier I was using Nikon D800, which was a full frame body, and I started with a Nikon D90. Now this camera was a crop sensor. So, I mean, of course, I'm not saying that you need a full frame camera to get a good picture. You can always get good photos from any camera that you have. Okay, but right now, if you're getting into product photography and looking for a new camera, I would recommend going in for a full frame body. So the next thing I consider is the resolution or the megapixels. Now, when you're doing commercial jobs where your photos are used on, let's say, social platforms, websites, banners, hoardings, shopping malls, magazines. So for this kind of work, resolution from 24 megapixels and beyond is good enough. So if you see here, the Nikon Z9 is 45 megapixels. The D850 is 45 megapixels as well. And earlier I was using D800, which was 36 megapixels, and I started with a 12 megapixel body, D90. So the next important feature I always consider is the tethering compatibility of the camera with Capture One. So, as a commercial photographer, whenever I'm shooting products, I always connect my camera to a computer using a tethered cable to see my photos on a bigger screen. Because, most of the times we are working with the team or the clients on the set, and everybody can look at the screen and see how the shoot is going. So it is very important for me to consider the compatibility of tethering your camera with Capture One. So the next comes colors, and whenever I'm shooting with my Nikon cameras, the colors that I get straight out of the cameras are beautiful, but I always shoot my cameras tethered to Capture One, and the colors that I see on Capture One are phenomenal. So to preserve those colors that I see in Capture One, what I do is that I open the raw files as a PSD in Photoshop, bypassing the Camera Raw plugin. So this is how I preserve those beautiful colors what I see in Capture One. And that's the reason why I stressed having a camera which is fully compatible with Capture One, because this is a very powerful tool that can manage the colors really well. So next comes the image quality. And if you're buying a camera today, and especially a full frame body, then you need not worry about the image quality at all, because a full frame camera will give you a fantastic image quality no matter which camera it is. So another important feature that I consider is regarding the optical low pass filter, or it's also known as the anti-aliasing filter. Now, a lot of cameras have this filter in front of the sensor to avoid a weird distortion known as moire. And this could appear when you're shooting high frequency repeated patterns. But when considering product photography, I do not recommend this filter at all. Right, so if you look here, the Z9 doesn't have this optical low pass filter, the D850 doesn't have this filter, but my previous cameras D800 and D90 had these filters. So the advantage of not having an optical low pass filter is that you get sharper results straight out of the camera. Another feature to consider is the electronic viewfinder. Now, ever since I shifted to a mirrorless body, I realized the benefits of having an EVF. So the issues that I had earlier when I was shooting on a D850 or D800 is that, let's say I had to focus on a very specific point on the product and my camera is tethered to the monitor. There was no way to switch on the live view without removing the tethering connection. So I just had to look through the optical viewfinder and take a best guess on focusing on a particular point using manual focus. And if I had to be really precise, then I had to remove the tethering cable, switch on the live view, zoom in, set my focus, and again connect the cable and switch off the live view. So this took a lot of time, but with an electronic viewfinder, I could just simply look through the viewfinder and zoom in and precisely adjust my focus manually. So, this thing alone saves a lot of time and make the whole process a lot more efficient. Another fantastic feature that you see on today's mirrorless bodies is the USB power delivery. And this feature is so helpful for me as a product photographer because most of the times these product shoots can last for an entire day. And what used to happen earlier when I was using these DSLRs, that in the middle of the shoot I'll run out of battery, and then I had to be very careful while removing the battery and replacing it with a new one, because most of the times I'm doing compositings or shooting in plates where I don't want any sort of movement in the camera. But with these mirrorless cameras, it's so good that once you connect the tethering cable, which anyways I always do, the same cable can provide power to the camera as long as it is connected to the computer. It's fantastic. Another feature I consider is having dual card slots in the camera bodies. And of course, when I'm shooting tethered to the monitor, I never use cards inside the camera because I always take my backups from the computer on multiple hard disks. But let's say if the tethering cable stops working or the entire tethering system is not working for some reason, then I always have this assurance that my camera has dual card slots and I can always take simultaneous backups during the shoot. Another feature that most of you guys are interested in is autofocus. And like a body like Z9, it has such fantastic autofocusing technologies that can focus in different situations so precisely. I mean, it's absolutely stunning. But when it comes to products, I always rely on focusing manually. And this is because I have trained my eyes over the past several years to precisely focus manually on a specific point on the product. Right? So for products, I always use manual focusing, but it's good to have these autofocus capabilities in the camera if you have to use it for any other kind of shoot. And last but not the least is of course having a pro build quality. Now, if your camera has a magnesium alloy body, weather sealing and moisture resistance, it always helps to have these features in a camera because, of course, when I'm shooting in studio, it is a very protected environment, very controlled environment. But knowing that the camera has all these features, if at all I have to go on a location for a shoot, I'll have my mind at peace that the camera is well protected. Right, so I hope this video helps you make a wiser decision when you're looking to buy a new camera. And guys, I like this to be an interactive session, so if you have any questions और अगर आपको ये लगता है कि मैं कोई फीचर भूल गया हूँ यहाँ पे मेंशन करना, so please do let me know in the comments below. And if you like these kind of videos and you don't want to miss out on the upcoming valuable content, then please do subscribe to my YouTube channel and I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers! Bye!